All right, everyone. Professor Rodolfo here. Just going to do a sum up of the class that I just taught about guard retention. So I'm going to show you two main things. One is a series of movements that is necessary for you to develop good guard retention skills. And then secondly, I'm going to go through a few principles in terms of retaining guard and guard passing. Now, the movements are the following. The first one that you're going to work on is how to pummel your legs. So there will be a lot of situations in which I am defending guard here and just trying to get double unders. As she goes to do that, I will pummel the legs. So as she goes, I can pummel my legs from one side to the other. Okay, so if you want to work on yourself, you can just pummel your legs like this. The same way we do during the cool down part of the training. The second one is the Hipscapes. Of course, everyone knows that we work on the Hipscapes to open space between us and our training partners. Now, there's two tips that I want to give in relation to the Hipscapes that can widen, can increase the space that you open between you and your training partner when you are hipscaping. So what you're going to do is that as you step your foot on the mat, you're going to try to bring your foot as far back towards your hips and as far to the side, just like this. And now as you hipscape, you're going to try to bring your head lower than your hips. So as I go to the hipscape, if there was a line here, you see that my head is lower than my hips. So to this side here, what I'm going to do is step the foot as far back, as far to the side. And now you go to the hipscape. And you can practice that from side to side and develop the habit of applying this during the warm-up as well. Now, the third one is getting to the underhook and sitting up. So a lot of times I'll be fighting against a training partner who's trying to pass my guard. What I want to do is to get this arm under her arm, scissor my legs, and get into the top position. So if Jess was on this side here, I want to get my arm under, I want to scissor my legs and get into the top position. Without a training partner, I'll be here, I'll get my underhook, I will scissor the legs, and I'm getting into the top position. The third one is from the turtle position to a sitting position. So I'm going to be here, she's on my side, I'm going to step my foot on the mat, I'm going to get back into the guard. Sometimes she's going to be in front of me, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'll step one foot on the mat, I'll kick my leg, and I'm playing guard. Without a training partner, you'll be here, imagine there's someone on this side, I step, I slide, and I am back into the guard position. The next movement is scissoring your legs. So a lot of times someone's going to be trying to pass your guard, they pass your legs already, you're framing. What are you going to do? You're going to bend your leg and apply a scissoring movement by bending the bottom one, passing the top one over the head, engaging your hips here and getting back into the guard position. So again, from here, I'm going to push with my friends, bend my bottom leg, pass the top leg over the head, engage my hips from here. Even if she puts a lot of weight on top of me, it's very, very hard for her to pass the guard because I have my hips engaged. Without a training partner, you'll be doing this. You scissor to one side, you scissor to the other side. You scissor, you scissor. Now, the next one is the ability of being on your back and quickly moving to a sit-up position. Maybe if someone breaks the grips here, oh, I want to be able to sit up straight away. So without a training partner, is a pendulum situation here in which I'll bend one leg and extend the other one and create momentum to sit up. Bend, extend, bend, and extend. Rolling over the shoulder. So let's imagine I have my opponent in front of me. I am in turtle position. What I'm going to do is to roll and get back into guard position here. What we're doing now is rolling over the shoulder. What I'm going to do, my shoulder is going to go towards the floor. I'm going to look away. I'm going to roll and try to get my legs in front of Jess. Without a training partner, shoulder on the floor, move away, and turn, try to get your legs in front of your training partner. The last one of the movements is inverting. So where does this situation take place is usually when I'm fighting here, someone is almost passing my guard here, almost on my back, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to invert, and I'm going to turn towards her. If she was on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to use my far leg and go under my leg that is closer to her. I'll use my toes here on the mat to push against the mat. I'll move my head as far away from Jess as possible. I'll roll over my shoulder, I'll invert, and I'll turn towards her. Without a training partner, what we'll be doing, bending one leg, move your head away, roll over the shoulder, and turn towards your training partner. So now we finish the movements part of the training. We're going to have a quick discussion about a few principles for the guard player and for the guard passer. So the guard player in Jiu-Jitsu wants to do two main things. One is to have 4 points of contact with the training partner. So for example, if Jen's trying to pass my guard here, I want to have both feet and both hands nice and busy, trying to create tension against her. Every single time I'm here is hard for her to pass my guard. If we are disengaged, I want to use movement to prevent her from passing the line of my legs. So if she goes forward towards me, I can move back. She moves to one side, I'll move towards her. She moves to the other side, I can move back. So through movement, I want to prevent her from passing the line of my legs. Now the guard passer, on the other hand, wants to achieve a few things. The first thing that the guard passer wants to achieve is to break the points of contact, at least 2 of the points of contact. I'll break 1, I'll break 2. Now the guard passer is ready to move into the next step. So the first thing that the guard passer wants to do is to break the 4 points of contact, or at least 2 points of contact. The second thing is to establish their own grips. So I broke the points of contact, I have my own grips. The third one is to pass the line of the legs. Once the guard passer passes the line of the legs, they want to pin the guard player to the floor here, establishing the side control position. Now, a good guard player is someone who fights against all these elements. For example, if the guard passer breaks one of the grips here, what the guard player needs to do is to reestablish the 4 points of contact. So need to react immediately towards that. Now, if the guard passer establishes grips, mainly on the legs, the guard player wants to break those grips straight away. Could use this movement here to break both of the grips and then establish the 4 points of contact again. In relation to grips on your collars, usually these are very hard to break, especially when you're on the bottom, because you don't have much leverage. So what you do instead of breaking usually would be to negate these grips. I could grab back here. I could use my leg to trap her arm. So now she's nice and trapped here. So grips on the legs, you break. Grips on the collars, if it's too hard to break, you're going to use that grip in your favor. Now, the main thing that I want to work, and we worked on the class that we just did, was the following. Whenever someone passed the line of your legs, so Jess was here, she passed my legs here, it doesn't mean that she passed the guard. She didn't pass my guard yet. This is a crisis moment that I need to react immediately towards that. The main thing we're going to do today is work on the frame. So whenever someone is getting too close here, I'm going to use my arms to frame. I'm always going to try to use my knees connected to my elbows. So I am in a strong position here. So again, if Jess is here, she passes the legs, elbows to knees, straight away. She goes to the other side there, elbows to knees. Here I am in a strong position. It's hard for her to pass the guard. Now, if she separates and I expose my chest, she's ready to drop and control it. So in terms of the technique that I want to work on is don't expose your chest. And now we're going to work on the frames, how to use the frames, how to scissor the legs. So just going in here, I have my elbows to knees. I'm going to use my hands to push the arm that would control my head otherwise. That's the one that I'm concerned with. And I'll scissor my legs. Scissor, engage, and get back into the guard position. Establishing again your 4 points of contact. If she gets to the other side, elbows to knees, frame, scissor the legs, and establish your guard again. Remember that every defensive cycle that you finished, you want to reset and begin an offensive cycle. The offensive cycle in this case would be me establishing my 4 points of contact and being ready to work on my favorite guard moves. Now, the last situation that I want to see, that I want to discuss is when someone got so close, but so close that I can't use the palm of my hands to frame. Instead, I'm going to use the back of my hands as frames. It's just going to the side here. What I want to do is the following. I'm going to be sideways. I'm going to have one hand on the head, one hand on the chest. So in this position here, I'll be turning towards her. Whenever I can, I'll push the biceps away. I'll get the underhook. I'll scissor the legs, and I am on the top position again. So I want to prevent at all costs her from controlling my head. So this frame is going to prevent the head control from Jess. This hand is going to be on my chest. Sometimes you say hand on the head, hand on the heart. So as I get in here, I'll be sideways. I'm trying to prevent her from passing the guard. She's putting the weight on me. I'm going to push the biceps away, get the underhook, and scissor my legs. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this very quick sum up of the class that we just did. If you have any questions, anything that you didn't understand or wasn't well explained, just reach out to me. Thank you so much. Os.